Good morning, Terran Empire, and welcome back to Star Trek Season 2, Episode 4, Mirror, Mirror, or as the true patriots know it, Episode 10, where today we are going to, of course, be watching Mirror, Mirror, the first Mirror Universe episode. I always assumed a reference to the whole... Oh, I should turn the engine hum off. A reference to the whole mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And apparently the answer is the evil universe. I don't know. But yes, today... Whoops-a-doodle, that's the wrong button. And I have to hide my mouse in a new place. If you don't know what we're doing, it's possible. It is Mirror, Mirror, after all, but we have had a string of classic episodes recently. We are essentially going to be recording an audio commentary track live. So, for legal reasons, I can't just stream an episode of Star Trek. There'll be this time bar and a blurred version of the episode in the background. That's a frame to end on. Of course, we click a random frame, and it's Kirk making out with a woman. Anyway, yes, in a little bit, we're going to do a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then on go, everyone's going to hit play. Don't skip intro. Don't do anything weird like that, and we'll all be synced up. But yeah, I like to ramble a bit before we get set up. Oh, and of course, I personally will be watching the remastered editions. That is the edition on Paramount Plus, link in the description. It's also personal preference. If you choose to watch the remastered, it shouldn't matter. It's just, visual effects. The actual runtime of the episode is the same, at least for the one I checked. So, it should be fine. Just, if I comment on an effect, of which there probably aren't many, it'll be different if you're watching the originals. But yes, Mirror, Mirror is, of course, a very famous episode. Kind of love it or hate it with the whole Mirror universe in general. I quite like the Mirror universe in the classics, more so, what Deep Space Nine was doing with it. But this is... It's actually one I don't remember much, to be honest. I basically just remember that they go to the Mirror universe and have a bit of a romp, which, to be fair, is probably just the plot. I remember how shockingly buff Uhura is that's always what strikes me. I don't know about this episode. If you figured out why Uhura is the season 2 thumbnail as well. But anyway, yeah, I don't really remember if it's good or bad. I think it's one of those that's more noteworthy for being the Mirror universe than being, exceptional. But I think it is still good enough. Plus, you've got Spock with a goatee. So, that's a plus. At that said, I think I'll probably just get straight into it. I got a lot to do today. I bought a mallet and malleted a piece of wood into the dirt. And now I got to attach a mailbox onto it after this. Then I got a bunch of stuff to do, so let's get straight into this. As I said before, we're going to do a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, everyone's going to hit play. Don't skip intro. Just generally, that's bad, but it'll mess up the synchronization. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Don't freeze, don't freeze. Brilliant. Sometimes this hard drive, you never know. Oh, and I have to change my audio. Why is my audio weird? I don't know. I might be Oh, shoot. Oh, no, my headphones are just quiet. Okay, we figured it out. I think this scene is a little interesting in the more modern take with, the knowledge of Star Trek, because it's kind of like an oil country just being like, we can't export any oil because it might be used for evil. It's like, I guess. It's also just gasoline, but who knows? I think this is also another example of a pre-warp civilization the Federation just, like, talked to. And honestly, this is the version of the Prime Directive I actually like. Is, like, you don't go and mess with foreign governments, but you still have relationships with them, you know? That's basically the only kind of ethical take you can have of a Prime Directive. Plus, quite frankly, I think after so many years of, like, the Star Trek-inspired Prime Directive, it'd just be interesting to have some stories where you can have that massive technological gap and explore that. Well, Spock's the captain now. Oh, and doesn't it go the other way? Because, yeah, it goes the other way now, because mirror universe. Oh, you know what, actually? I really like that different transporter effect. As you do. No, actually, I think I prefer that mirror universe transporter effect to the original. Don't question why their clothes are different. In fact, is this the first example of the transporter machines probably being like death machines that just kill you and make a copy? I think it might be. Shoutouts to Spock, too, managing to be second in command of what I think is the flagship, is like a Vulcan slave. Well, I guess he's half human. Eh. I mean, it is a pretty effective introduction to the mirror universe, you know? What's it, the 60s? Like, basically space Hitler salute and then the torture and we blow up a planet. I don't think, not to mention all of the knives going through Earth, I don't think you could really set the scene better, to be honest. Also, Spock has a goatee, so 10 out of 10. No, I do like the mirror universe stuff. Through and up to Enterprise. Actually, Enterprise has my favorite mirror universe joke, which is Mirror Archer at one point goes in his quarters and like throws a steak or something to Porthos, or you might just say like, "Hi, Porthos," and the camera cuts and Porthos is like a Rottweiler. It's like a big aggressive black dog, and it's just on the frame cuts to Porthos for like 2 seconds and then cuts away. And it's my favorite mirror universe joke is that our Mirror Archer has a big aggressive dog instead of whatever, like a Brittany Spaniel. I don't know dogs, but whatever Porthos is normally. That's the kind of stuff I want from my mirror universe. You know what, actually? It's been a while. I don't think the mirror universe stuff from Discovery was bad either in itself. It's just Discovery's tone and some of the... It's other issues. So, you know, I don't have a problem with Discovery mirror universe. Beyond the fact that everything's mirrored for no reason in a literal sense. Yeah, like that guy with the agonizer. Yeah, I don't know why Mr. Kyle's bringing this up. Like, if I was just tortured, I might not volunteer another error, you know? Well, also, okay, I want to... This is going to sound weird. I want us to pay attention to Uhura's abs, because this is something I've always wondered about this episode, is in most scenes, she's incredibly buff. And I've always wondered if Uhura is actually just really muscular, and you don't usually see it in the normal uniform, or if they've done something to give her abs. Because I feel like in some scenes, she doesn't have abs. And I've just always wondered. I love the gold paint on the red, though. In the evil universe, our doctors just spill chemicals on the floor. Oh my god, never mind. In the Prime universe, we just don't clean tables. Can we appreciate, too, that the universes are so tied together that McCoy spills acid in both universes? I'm also trying to quickly recall, does anyone actually know about the mirror universe here? Spock might, according to Discovery. Uhura would... Spock with a beard. God, I can't remember. It's been too long since Strange New Worlds. Which is good, because Strange New Worlds can't mess up the mirror universe then, so... Who knows? That won't be suspicious. I'm trying to remember. I think this is more of a... It's not just a romp for a romp's sake. Like, I don't know, Trouble in Tribulations. I do find it hilarious how everything's messy, though. Like, why? If anything, surely the authoritarian nightmare state would be cleaner, right? I mean, I don't know. If anyone's watching from an authoritarian nightmare state, please let me know how cleanly your sick bays are. Actually, come to think of it, it's interesting, because Sulu's got a big scar in the Mirror universe. It's kind of interesting that characters aren't generally more, like, beat up and battle bruised, especially the security. I don't know, you'd walk the line of course, the problematic nature of making just, like, an evil character disabled, to show how, like, evil and disfigured they are or whatever. But narratively, it might work. I don't know, like that, obviously you can have evil disabled characters, because the idea that, like, all disabled characters are purely, like, good is also problematic in just the other way. But that's a very serious scar they've got for him right now. Also, because I like Camp Mirror Universe, I absolutely would have given Chekhov, who's been characterized as, like, super patriotically Russian, kind of like how Worf wears, you know, a Klingon sash around his uniform. Chekhov would just be in, like, traditional Russian military wear. Because why not? I think that's funny. And you could also show a possibly more divided Earth that still, has very strong cultural ties to, like, the individual nations. So I think it actually could work, too. If you, instead of a homogenous Starfleet uniform, you push it in the direction of the culture the characters are from. I actually like that. Can't you check with Captain anyway? Does the Captain not have the authority? You missed the button. I do like the way that was delivered too. I don't know. I think so far it's a very well thought out episode and well done. Just the uniforms as well. I love the shiny gold trim everyone has, especially in the Captain. It's a brilliant militaristic, modification to Starfleet. How do you get a scar like that? I think that's a prop department, not really, or maybe it's new. I don't know. It just looks a bit off to me on my modern flat screen. I guess just 1080p. Look, it's not a good monitor, but it is a monitor. Okay, good. I was worried my monitor was filthy there. What's with this camera lens? That's so dirty. I like these guys. Also, yes, the only difference... I don't know. I feel like people try and take the mirror universe too far sometimes in the literal sense that it's like an opposite. And I actually really like Deep Space Nine. One of the episodes where like the Ferengi go to the mirror universe. Rom's there, and he spends the whole time confused about how like things aren't quite reverse. And I'm like, no, like this isn't going to be a planet of like a bunch of barbarian savages. The difference in this universe is that Earth just went authoritarian, basically. And I think that's fine. And especially as time goes on and you get to Deep Space Nine, things would be even more divergent. Or like, Vic's not a hologram. So? Are you saying it's, like, impossible that there would be a version of the mirror universe where someone was born exactly like the fictional character Vic Fontaine? God, Chekhov does a great, or Walter... was it Walter Koenig or something? I don't think I've heard it pronounced, but he does a great, like, unhinged villain smile there. Also, yes, I do find it funny that the Bassard collectors are pointed. I want a promotion. I just wear a blue shirt. Please, Captain, promote me to a real uniform. I kind of like, though, that we have a bunch of, I assume, non-commissioned officers who don't wear uniforms. I don't know. I'm a fan of, like, everyone in... I'm a fan of the later looks, but I think it is interesting, some of the things TOS does that bring it a bit more in line with a normal military. But, like, oh, I was about to say, don't say you might make captain after immediately saving the captain's life. Like, you might make second in command. How about that? I'll assassinate everyone until I get to you, and then I'll stop. Also, I think that was a really weird move. Like, why wouldn't you... like, you now know you're in a place where you're at active risk of assassination and you punched the first ally you found. I don't know. Ooh, I like that little earth thing on the desk in the background. There's like a bunch of people holding up the earth. I think it's new decorations. Like, obviously the knives are new. Wait, is it a male voice? I wish we'd kept that the Mirror Universe computer was a different voice than the Prime Universe. I think that's a nice touch. Because, like, the displays are different, aren't they? Actually, now that I've said that, I don't know. I always find it funny, in a sense, when they go to the computers for these, like, extremely hypothetical scenarios. It's like, yeah, we don't have to research that. I mean, they kind of have some proof here, but the computer just knows that, you know? It's more that the computer's responses isn't like theoretically or here's the thing. It's just like, yes. It's the sense of if you asked like ChatGTP, what would happen if I flew into the center of a black hole, and it just a very matter-of-factly told you exactly what would happen, which is, you know, what it does nowadays, and that's kind of a problem. But it's like, we don't really know. Like, we can kind of guess and make educated assumptions, but at some point, we just don't know. Is that Scotty? Rip Pike. I think that's the first mention he's got. I can't tell. The start of that sounded a bit like James Doohan not doing a Scottish accent, but I don't know. I bet it could be him. Just stab him. I have a feeling I know what the distraction's gonna be, but just stab him. I hope we get a cut to them raving in prison. Yeah! I don't know. I get what they're saying. But it kind of is showing Mirror Universe Kirk is just an idiot. Like, when we went into the transporter room, it was so obviously different. Would he not also notice? Like, sure, maybe he didn't think quick enough on his feet, but they're supposed to be the same people, right? And I think the other Mirror Universe episodes generally just do this a lot better. That's a really nice force field effect. I think he's just holding his fist up against nothing. I don't know. It really looked like he was holding it against something for a second there. Is that another Vulcan? I think that is. Because they got pointed ears. And the eyebrows. Here's definitely updated effects. I don't know. I feel like some of the CGI isn't necessarily better. It still looks like CGI, and it doesn't fit with the 60s stuff. However, generally, I think for TOS specifically, I prefer the updated effects, but not that one. Having no idea what the original looks like. Yeah, it looks like they're about to beat him up. He's like, I just want to confirm before we stab you. I do like Mirror Universe Spock, though. And I think this is important because that line about the threats very much, I think, Prime Spock could say. I actually feel like he almost does. I feel other Vulcans certainly do. But he's just logical. Like, everything he does is extremely logical. And the only difference between Prime Spock and Mirror Spock should be the assumptions that logic is based off of. Oh my gosh, is this an episode that understands logic? I also like that he just doesn't want to be captain because he doesn't want people to kill him. He's the great evil sidekick. Is like, he's not gonna betray you because he just doesn't want to be betrayed down the line. But also, when like one of the lower people tries to assassinate Kirk, he'll just roll with it too. Because he'll be like, yeah, look, I just don't want any trouble. You know me. I just don't want to be you. That's my only requirement. Nice to see security is still just as bad in the Mirror Universe, though. This is a nice area. I don't remember an upstairs engineering like this. I like those panels too. Why don't we see this set more often? This is amazing. You get to look down at engineering. Am I crazy? Does this scene come up a lot? Because I don't remember this set. And I really like the engineering set. Just the scale of it. You don't get a lot in TOS that's of much size. The corridor set's good too. It's just for its simplicity. She's got the same earrings as Uhura. And I do not believe that is a double bed. Actually, no, I'm going to let this play out. I was going to say I'd like to point out the 60s Star Trek has Kirk much more uncomfortable with having his mirror counterpart than 80s Cisco is with just doing it with his best friend to stay undercover. But then I remembered that random frame we clicked was Kirk making out with this woman. Let's see, this is after Giorgio. What actually is the state of the Empire right now? I don't think we know. Unless Section 31 says it, but I did like 20 minutes of that and I was out. Hey, here's the frame we clicked. Shoutouts as well to the communicator being in the most pickpocketable position possible on the uniforms. Yeah, this is a lot. This is a much better episode than I'm recalling. It's just really well paced and structured. I like the dilemma. I like the situation. I like the execution of the sets. It's a solid one. It really is. And it's also, like, not camp at all, which is not what I remembered. Ooh, and you got the cage-style, bumps on the back of the Enterprise. Just like that. Wait, and his men's. When did Spock get a bunch of men? I forgot about this detail, too. I don't know if this machine ever comes up again, either. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I think maybe Discovery might have used it. But also, I'm a little surprised that this hasn't, like, used all the time if it exists. And man, it's even got a Spock switch. How wonderful. Just sitting there. I've got a dog that's like that, a pug, that every now and then I'll walk around the corner, and he's literally just standing there, doing the dog equivalent of a T-pose, just loving his life. And that's all he does, he just lays around and he loves it. Also, I don't care what the circumstances are. I don't think I would give my Mirror Universe girlfriend access to my, like, remote instant death machine. Empress? I don't know. It's been a string of empresses, hasn't it? I think Hoshi overthrew an emperor, but I'm trying to remember. It really has been a while. Also, I have an instant death machine. I wonder if this set only exists so Scotty can talk in private. Although just empty out engineering. I mean, it's usually empty when we go there. Just access the captain's search logs. That's gotta be James Doohan, right? I don't think I've ever heard his voice outside doing the accents. I'm gonna look it up. Star Trek mirror computer voice. Oh, I have heard his voice. No, he does a Klingon in whatever in the animated series. Oh. Find in page. Mirror had a male computer voice. Yeah, could you? It just says it had a male computer voice. in a mirror darkly. Oh, well, yeah, no, that's the Defiant. Of course the Defiant has the, Oh, there we go. John Winston is... Wait a minute. It's the guy... He plays, like, one of the... He plays the British transporter guy. Yeah, Kyle. Man, imagine getting to voice the computer for the Terran Empire and then being delegated to the, like, O'Brien of TOS. At laying traps? I missed that first line. Is that how you do that line? I don't know, but you always demand perfection, and you failed. But don't worry, you fail the least out of anyone. I don't know, once again, I'm finding the scenes with Kirk and Woman of the Week to be the low points of the episode. I just kind of want the next bit. However, come to think of it, it's a little surprising that you could broadcast that outfit. I can't remember the target age demographic of TOS, though. I think it's adult, but it might just be, like, family. I really don't remember. Because I think Star Trek, TOS, not TNG, I think. Star Trek was a big thing of moving sci-fi away from, like, just kids' entertainment to something that could be more serious, or at least more family, and enjoyed by adults. What she... I kind of missed her goals talking over them, but as I said, this has got to be aimed at adults. You wouldn't have these many makeout sections if it was like a family show. But it's definitely bringing the episode down in this whole middle section because of the amount of time we're dedicating to it. I don't care. I don't know. Did people watch Star Trek and, like, get really invested in these parts of the episodes? Because they're always just the slow parts. I think the Christine Chapel the Chapel Spock stuff might have been interesting enough in the Plato Stepchildren. But that's not because of the romance. That's because of, like, how the aliens were forcing everyone to do stuff like puppets. This is just a woman we know we'll never see again. Although, does she, like, help them escape or something, maybe? I do find it interesting as well, the option of just telling everyone what happened doesn't even get brought up, right? It's not like someone says, well, couldn't we just tell them? Like, they probably want their captain back. And then someone going, too risky, or whatever. Then just being proven wrong at the end of the episode. Alex forgot to draw the ring on the thumbnail. 0 out of 10. Even though this is literally one of the reference images. You gotta love the 3 security guys in the background just, like, watching this. I don't know if being surrounded by... Look at how bored they are. One of them's having a good time, actually. Oh, he's shocked. They're disappointed. He thought he was gonna see some action. I'm loving the 3 guys in the background. Oh, there's a 4th now. He just wants to get on with his work. He's like, please. I just gotta watch this graph all day. Now, if the guy on the left is interested again. I don't know. That was fun. I always like extras like that who think they're not on camera. We still got 13 minutes left? More importantly, why are you doing it from the back of the transporter? What's that play? Just like, shoot me, and then he does. Okay, with the Dr. McCoy's assistants betting on the pain of someone to see when they'd go out unconscious, does that sound like a sick bay run by someone who's like compassionate? I don't know, at that point I might just tell him. You know what, actually, well, first off, that is definitely not Dr. McCoy there. That's a horrible stunt double. But this is actually a pretty sensible landing party, right? You got the captain to negotiate. You got the chief engineer, who's probably got to inspect the dilithium for its use in the engines. Uhura could just be here to, like, help with communications and stuff. Communications officer. And then Bones is kind of the odd one out, but... depends on what the Federation's offering to trade. It could be medical stuff. I mean, that could be why Uhura's here, too. We know she knows the electrics. They could be helping with communications. Like, that's the sort of stuff the Federation would trade. You know, like communications, medical, non-weaponry stuff. Oh, he finally cares about Spock. I'm not a doctor, and we haven't established Vulcan skulls are real thick. But how hard do you have to headbutt someone before they'll die without immediate treatment? I guess, to be fair, Kirk hit Spock so hard the other skull shattered. Yeah, she does help him then, doesn't she? I mean, a bit. I don't know. I think the fundamental, like, assumptions and core beliefs are quite different, but he does use logic. I mean, everyone uses logic to varying levels of success. I'm sure that'll be believable. Sulu also does a really good, like, creepy murder face. Is it just easier to do a creepy murder face than I think? Or is this a unique... unique set of skills? Make sure to take out the henchmen first. Yeah, don't do Sulu either. Sulu will just back down. He's a wimp. Or no, she knew we needed an action sequence. I'm starting to understand why there was 13 minutes. Wow. Actually, whoa, they do. They have 9 minutes. It's so rare to see a countdown be, like, accurate. I wonder if they're going to remember Spock's vital signs are totally messed up. Or maybe in the Mirror universe, they actually bothered to program multiple species into their medical thing. Oh, look at that. They did forget his vitals are all messed up. Oh, and they even stopped the little heartbeat sensors on the medical bay. Oh, they don't have the speech yet. That whole, like, I know the my mind to your mind, my thoughts to your thoughts, our minds are becoming one? I forget the speech. But that's, like, actually fairly rare for a mind meld, especially to get it, like that and in that order. I mean, it's a lot like Live Long and Prosper, isn't it? Where it's part of a larger greeting that often isn't really done in full. Do you know that, though? Alright, fair enough. Here's a question. Are they going to be in their Mirror Universe clothes when they when they beam over? Because they can't swap bodies, can they? Or I guess we're saying the Prime Universe figured it out at exactly the same time. Wouldn't that be funny, though, if, like, as they're planning this beam over, all the Mirror Universe counterparts come over? Because the original Enterprise was a bit faster. Honestly, no. Like, how could they pin this on you whatsoever? Oh, it's a good thing we have 5 people. I love how Uhura just accepts that. She's like, yeah, I'm not staying here. Do you know how cold this uniform is? I may look fantastic, but I'm gonna get frostbitten. Actually, that's funny. They didn't even try and ask her. Like, hey, could you operate the controls? You want to help us out? He's just like, nah, I'll do it. Hey, comment. Captain, all you had to do was ask. We may be evil, but we're not like, you know, idiots. $240. Can we appreciate, apparently, the Mirror Universe has this same principle of, like, galactic revolt? I mean, I refute that. Given infinite time, nothing can last forever. Ergo, either the Federation is also illogical, or everything, like, the Terran Empire isn't. In my quarters, you'll find a big button. I like how he doesn't even get any instructions to what the device is. He just goes, he eventually finds the panel, plays around with it, accidentally blows up engineering, you know, as you do, playing with a new device. And we're going to put this on the back burner for 3 seasons. 3 series. I love that transporter effect, by the way, of the different colors. I don't know if that's remastered or not. I think I actually prefer it to this one. Which what they did is I know they had a jar of glitter in some semi-viscous solution that they shook around and then put it upside down, and they filmed that. And they superimpose all the glitter falling onto the people. Is how they do that. Well, you should have seen them. That's convenient. I agree. There you go. Spock finally gets to punch back. Yes, that's racist, but Spock gets a pass after so long. He's like, man, Bones, this racism thing sucks on the other end. Maybe we should stop. Did Bones just look at their butt? Oh, hey, it's the Trial and Tribulation clip. I always wondered where that came from. That's the one they use when Deep Space Nine goes back in time, and Cisco hands him that thing. I've always wondered, because I couldn't remember a clip where Kirk couldn't remember a lieutenant's name. Captain, you know there's regulations against this kind of thing. No. Yeah, that was good. It was brought down a lot by the romance stuff in the middle. At the same time, though, I don't think you really could have filled 49 minutes with the general Mirror Universe stuff. You would have needed a deeper plot. Maybe you could have focused on the fact that the Empire was in decline more. Maybe you could have made it a bit more of a mystery, like who's trying to assassinate Kirk. I don't know if like a political thriller is the right thing, but maybe you could have added elements to that. But it definitely had a good, strong start, and it introduced the Mirror Universe, so that's something. I do like what Deep Space Nine went on to do with the Mirror Universe. And, of course, In a Mirror Darkly is a fun episode. I very much like it. It gave us that Porthos joke I mentioned I love. But, yeah, next week, I don't remember. Next week, I believe we're starting the 15th Doctor Who reviews. We got that new season coming up. Actually, the day I do the Star Trek, but Sunday is the reviews. I went to the Doctor Who folder. Nope, Star Trek. TOS. We have got The Deadly Years, where everyone gets old, followed by I Mud, The Trouble with Tribbles, that's a big one, and Bread and Circuses with the Ancient Rome. That's what the next month is looking up to be. The one after that's Journey to Babel, that's worth noting. But yeah, we've got a bunch of good stuff coming up. Season 2 definitely has a bunch of good episodes. But yeah, as I said at the start, I'm going to be quite busy today, so I will just say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time!